James, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Waleed.
Why do you want to sell it off? You just want the cash.
I think it has been a good investment. It's certainly returned quite well, and now's time to cash in on that, as you say. Principally because I think when we've got $470 billion of gross debt, when our interest payments are now more than $1 billion a month, we've got to start looking at some serious decisions to pay that debt back and reduce the interest bill that we have to pay each month.
It's clearly an appreciating asset. Don't you want to hang on to your appreciating assets rather than just sell them all off to pay off debt?
Well, that's a reasonable argument if you plan to sell it at some point, but at the moment it's just a paper appreciation. It's not actually worth anything to Australian taxpayers until we sell it. So I'm very open to the idea that perhaps there will be a better time to sell it in the future than today, but I don't think it's realistic to say that we should never sell it if we want to take advantage of it.
I'm not even arguing that we should never sell. I haven't even got to that point, but I'm just saying if it's worth $1.3 million upon purchase in 1973 and it's appreciated 350 times that, it seems to me like this is a good one to hang on to.
Well, it's been about a 13.9% return per annum, which is a little bit better than the stock market over the same period, which is about 11 or 12%. So yes, it's been a pretty good performing asset, but I don't think we need to hold on for it forever. I think now's the time, given the debt situation that we face, to sell it and realise that gain.
Sorry, what's our debt?
It's $470 billion in gross terms.
And you want to sell a painting worth $350 million?
That's right.
That's going to solve the problem?
No, it won't solve the problem, but if I was a marathon runner and I was at the starting line and I said, well, I've got 10,000 steps I've got to take in this marathon, there's no point taking the first one, I wouldn't get very far in marathons, and we're not going to get very far in paying off debt if at the first opportunity to reduce debt we say, well, this is going to fix the whole problem, so let's not even try.
No, but the point is, you're not going to get there by $350 million increments by selling off stuff, are you? The real issue is structural saving. The real issue is doing serious things within the budget so that you reduce that debt permanently over 20, 30 years, not selling off bits and pieces that are actually good investments.
I think you're half right, Waleed. Absolutely we have to deal with the ongoing budget problems, but the way in which the Howard government paid off the $96 billion of debt that it inherited from the Keating government was in part by budget repair, improving the annual budget, but also by privatising assets, including Telstra, for example. That was one of the ways that they reduced the debt, and we're going to have to do the same if we're going to achieve the same.
So should we have a same-sex marriage plebiscite?
Yes, I think we should.
It's $200 million right there we could save. That's almost worth as much as the painting, and that won't appreciate in value.
$170 million last time I checked, but yes, it is a lot of money, no doubt about that. It's also something that we took to the election. It was a key promise in the election, and I don't think we should walk away from that.
I'm not talking about the promise issue, just on its merits. I mean, if the argument is we've got a $350 million asset, let's sell it. I would have thought if that's the scale of money that we're looking at saving here, then the plebiscite's just ripe for it, isn't it? I mean, it's not even publicly supported anymore.
Well, I'm not convinced about that. I think that something that was a key election platform that we were returned to government on is something that's evidently supported by the Australian people, otherwise they might have made a different decision. And I think, yes, it is a lot of money, no question, wouldn't argue with that, but it's also a reasonable way to solve an issue which has been an intractable one for 3 parliaments and had more than 20 private members' bills trying to solve it. I think the plebiscite's a reasonable way to have a go at that.
Let's raise the question of why it's intractable, but anyway, thank you, James. It's an interesting idea. I had not turned my mind to the value of this painting, so thank you for raising it.
Thanks for listening.
James Paterson, Liberal Senator for Victoria.